It's Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025, and across much of the United States, winter has arrived with a vengeance. The calendar may only just be turning to December, but the weather outside tells a different story, one of deep winter, with all its challenges and unpredictability. A powerful winter storm is sweeping from the Midwest toward the Northeast, already disrupting millions of lives. Roads are clogged with traffic, flights are being delayed or canceled, and communities are bracing for what could be one of the most significant early-season storms in recent memory. This system began in the Midwest, bringing heavy wet snow and freezing rain that quickly coated roads, power lines and trees. The weight of the snow has already caused scattered power outages, and emergency crews are working around the clock to keep up with the demands of the storm. Now, as the storm intensifies and pushes toward the Ohio Valley and the Northeast Corridor, meteorologists warn that the worst may still be ahead. The radar shows a swirling mass of moisture and cold air, with the storm gaining strength as it moves into more densely populated areas. Yesterday, cities like Omaha and Kansas City saw treacherous commutes and numerous accidents as the first snow bands hit. Emergency services responded to hundreds of calls, and many drivers found themselves stranded or delayed for hours. The storm's impact was immediate and severe, catching some off guard despite warnings. The storm is now pulling in more cold air, ensuring most precipitation falls as snow, with a sharp dividing line between rain, ice, and snow. Temperatures are dropping rapidly, and the wind is picking up, making conditions even more hazardous for anyone caught outside. The transition zone is critical. Just a few miles can mean the difference between rain, crippling ice, or a foot of snow. This narrow band is where the most dangerous conditions are expected, with the potential for power outages, downed trees, and impassable roads. For those in its path, the time for preparation has passed. Now, it's about staying safe and navigating hazardous conditions. People are hunkering down, checking on neighbors, and doing their best to adapt to the rapidly changing situation outside their doors. The snow is falling, winds are rising, and the cold is biting, an early taste of midwinter's power. For many, this storm is a reminder of nature's force and the importance of community resilience during extreme weather events. Stay informed and stay safe as this dynamic storm continues its march east. Listen to local authorities, check for updates, and look out for one another as the region faces the full brunt of this powerful winter system. The storm's relentless eastward push is bringing winter weather to millions more today, stretching its icy grip from the Central Plains all the way toward the Atlantic. As the system churns across the country, communities brace for a wide range of hazardous conditions, from blinding snow to treacherous ice and freezing rain. Yesterday afternoon, the first wave of snow swept into St. Louis, Springfield, and Chicago, transforming city streets and neighborhoods into winter wonderlands. Residents woke to a blanket of white, with snowplows working overtime to keep roads passable, and commuters facing slow, slippery journeys. Meanwhile, a dangerous mix of freezing rain and sleet-battered areas from Missouri to Arkansas, coating trees, cars, and power lines in a thick glaze of ice. The hazardous conditions led to numerous accidents and power outages, as emergency crews scrambled to respond. By evening, heavy snow pummeled St. Louis and Indianapolis, reducing visibility and making travel nearly impossible in some spots. The relentless snowfall forced many to hunker down indoors, while road crews worked through the night to clear major highways. Farther east, Louisville and Cincinnati experienced a messy mix of cold rain and snowflakes, creating slushy, slippery streets and challenging conditions for anyone venturing outside. The transition zone, especially in places like Poplar Bluff, Missouri, saw heavy, wet snow that weighed down trees and power lines. Branches sagged under the weight, and utility crews worked to restore power to affected neighborhoods. Overnight, the storm intensified, shifting heavy snow into Louisville, Cleveland, and even Nashville. For many, the night brought howling winds and rapidly accumulating snow, with drifts piling up along sidewalks and driveways. As the system nears the Appalachians and East Coast, it's expected to strengthen further, turning into a formidable coastal storm. Meteorologists warn that the combination of cold air and Atlantic moisture could lead to blizzard-like conditions in some areas, with travel becoming extremely hazardous. This afternoon, heavy snow targets Scranton, Albany, and the higher elevations of the Northeast, where accumulations could reach a foot or more. mountain communities are preparing for whiteout conditions and the possibility of road closures. Meanwhile, the I-95 corridor braces for wind-driven rain, with gusty winds and downpours expected to slow traffic and cause localized flooding in low-lying areas. By early Wednesday, the storm will finally exit, leaving only scattered flurries behind. As skies begin to clear, communities across the heartland and northeast will start the long process of digging out and recovering from this powerful winter blast. Snowfall totals are mounting as the storm intensifies in the northeast. Kansas City and Chicago saw up to 3 inches, enough to snarl travel and disrupt routines. The Ohio Valley, including Indianapolis and Columbus, expects 2 to 3 inches, with Cleveland possibly seeing up to 6 inches due to lake effect. The real impact will be in the interior northeast, where 3 to 6 inches are likely in Pennsylvania's higher elevations, and upstate New York could see 7 to 9 inches. The heaviest snow, 8 to 12 inches, will fall from the Poconos through the Berkshires and into Vermont and Maine, with isolated spots topping a foot. This is a classic nor'easter, transforming the landscape and making travel nearly impossible in the hardest-hit areas. While snow grabs headlines, ice is often the most dangerous threat. Today, a significant icing event is unfolding across the Blue Ridge Mountains in Shenandoah Valley, with up to a quarter-inch of ice expected. The Virginia-West Virginia border is the bullseye, where ice will glaze trees and power lines, likely causing widespread outages. Roads will become treacherous, especially bridges and overpasses, and travel is strongly discouraged. Even a light glaze, as seen yesterday in Arkansas, can cause accidents and power issues. Residents should prepare for extended outages and avoid all non-essential travel until conditions improve. The message is clear: stay off the roads and be ready for power disruptions. On the storm's southern side, severe weather is brewing. From Mobile, Alabama to Apalachicola, Florida, isolated severe thunderstorms could bring damaging winds, hail, and even tornadoes, especially overnight. The greatest tornado risk is along the I-10 corridor, with supercells expected to move ashore from the Gulf after midnight. Overnight tornadoes are especially dangerous, so residents need reliable ways to receive alerts and a safety plan ready. This storm's complexity is striking blizzard conditions in the north, tornado threats in the south. For those along the Gulf Coast, tonight is a night to stay vigilant and be ready to act quickly. As the storm exits Wednesday, it opens the door to a true Arctic blast. Bitterly cold air will plunge south from Canada, sending temperatures plummeting across the Midwest, Great Lakes, and into the east. Lexington and Indianapolis will wake to temperatures in the teens and 20s, with brisk winds making it feel even colder. The cold will deepen through Thursday, with highs struggling to reach freezing and overnight lows far below normal. Fresh snow will help temperatures drop even further, setting the stage for the coldest readings of the season. This is not a brief chill, but a direct hit from a polar air mass. The storm may be over, but its most dangerous legacy, the deep freeze, is just beginning. The Arctic outbreak is set to peak on Thursday, unleashing a wave of life-threatening cold across much of the country. This isn't just another winter chill, these are temperatures that can quickly become dangerous, even for those who are used to harsh winters. Meteorologists are warning that this cold snap will be one of the most severe in recent years, with wind chills and actual temperatures plummeting to levels that can cause frostbite and hypothermia in a matter of minutes. In places like Fort Dodge, Iowa, the mercury could drop to a bone-chilling -20°, while Minneapolis is expected to see lows around -10°. These are not just numbers. They represent real risks for anyone exposed to the elements, especially the very young, the elderly, and those without adequate shelter. Chicago will also be gripped by sub-zero temperatures, with the city dipping well below zero. At these levels, frostbite can set in on exposed skin in less than 10 minutes, and the risk of hypothermia increases dramatically. The cold air mass will push deep into the nation's midsection, sending temperatures in St. Louis and Kansas City into the single digits. Even areas that don't typically see such extreme cold will feel the impact, with dangerous wind chills making it feel even colder. Wind chills will be especially brutal, plunging to -20 to -40 in the coldest spots. These conditions can be life-threatening for anyone caught outside without proper protection, and travel may become hazardous due to blowing snow and icy roads. Vulnerable populations, including the elderly, children, and those experiencing homelessness, are at greatest risk. It's crucial for communities to check on neighbors, ensure warming centers are open, and offer help to those who may not have adequate heating or shelter. Infrastructure will be put to the test, with high demand for heating systems and an increased risk of frozen pipes and power outages. Residents should dress in multiple layers, keep vehicles fueled and emergency supplies on hand, and be prepared for possible disruptions. Let faucets drip to prevent pipes from freezing, and make sure your home is as insulated as possible. If you must travel, keep extra blankets, food, and water in your car in case you get stranded. This is an extreme, cold event. Prepare accordingly. Stay informed with local alerts, and take every precaution to keep yourself and your loved ones safe during this dangerous weather. The cold isn't leaving anytime soon. For at least the next 10 days, below-average temperatures will grip the eastern U.S., with only Florida escaping the chill. A deep trough in the jet stream will keep funneling Arctic air south, locking in this frigid pattern. Snow and ice will linger, making travel hazardous as any daytime melting refreezes overnight. Energy demand will stay high, straining utilities and raising the risk of outages, especially where ice storms hit hardest. The clash of cold and warm air could spark more storms in the coming week, so vigilance is key. The chill is here to stay, and more winter weather may be on the way. As the Arctic air settles in, the focus shifts to coping with the aftermath. Checking on vulnerable neighbors and ensuring everyone has a warm place to stay is critical, especially for those still without power. Homeowners should insulate pipes, let faucets drip, and use heating systems safely. Never use ovens or stoves for heat. For those outdoors, dress in layers, cover exposed skin, and limit time outside to avoid frostbite and hypothermia. Recognize the signs of cold-related illness and seek help immediately if needed. The persistent cold will test our infrastructure and preparedness. By staying informed, taking precautions, and supporting each other, we can weather this deep freeze. Winter has arrived in dramatic fashion. Stay warm, stay safe.